Nalla Narasimhareddy Education Society's group of institutions integrated campus. I welcome all the viewers for this online video class. This is Dr. G. Subbarao working as a professor in Department of Civil Engineering. In this today's session, I am going to explain about the fundamental aspects of rock mechanics. So, let us see what is the meaning of rock mechanics. Rock mechanics is the name which is given to the study of behavior of rocks under loads which are imposed upon them in the lab with possible combinations. So rock mechanics is the study of behavior of rocks under the loads which are imposed upon them in the lab with all possible combinations. This is the meaning of rock mechanics. From civil engineering point of view, rocks are used for various purposes. For laying foundations, rocks are required as a road metal and building stone. Rocks are extensively used. Rocks are also used as a roofing material, and these rocks are used in the construction of bridges, piers, abutments, retaining walls, dams, etc. These can be used as flooring material, can be used as face work if it is polished. To make the concrete, we need aggregate. The aggregate comes from the rocks. Paving stones of roads. Even rocks are used for railway ballast. For making statues, rocks are used. Even for tunneling also, rocks plays a vital role. Certain physical properties of rocks in a part of rock mechanics are necessary to make the rocks whether they are suitable for the purpose which is intended. There are a number of IS codes are available to determine the engineering properties of rocks, especially crushing strength, shearing strength, density, toughness, resistance to abrasion, durability. These are all called as engineering properties for rocks, and as per IS codes, yes, the properties are to be determined whether they are suitable for certain purpose or not. Strength of a rock, which is very important, especially in case of foundation purpose, whether it can withstand heavy loads or not. Of course, color, appearance of the rock are unimportant. Much importance has been given only the strength of a rock. Another property is resistance to abrasion. Is also important property, whether the rocks can afford the resistance when they are used for flooring purpose as a type. And durability in case of roofing, whether they can sustain for a longer period or not. Absence of reaction with chemicals for making a concrete. So when aggregates are added with cement, water and mixtures, It should not be reacted. That means absence of reaction is to be determined. Softness is another important property which is required for carving purpose. And similarly, lightness, one more property which is important for rocks or stone while making arches and so on. Let us take one example, the metamorphic rock marble, which looks in a pleasant color, very good appearance, and the workability is very easy. Very good polish can be taken for making a sculpture. But this marble is unsuitable to serve as a foundation for constructing a dam or reservoir, because leakage takes place due to the presence of cleavage plates, and also it dissolves when come in contact with water, and hence it's unsuitable to serve as a foundation for especially the construction of dam and reservoir. If we take an igneous rock, especially basalt, which is just opposite to marble in its nature and suitability, totally opposite, very good for foundation, but its appearance is poor. Pleasant color is no, it's always appeared in black color. Workability is very difficult. Polish cannot be taken for making sculptures, and rock is very hard, and it's difficult to make an arch. Some of the engineering properties, whatever we discussed, those are to be tested, especially for foundation purposes. We have to test the engineering properties like uniaxial compressive strength, tensile strength, shear strength, and modulus of elasticity. In case of construction purpose of a building, so crushing strength, transfer strength, porosity, permeability, density, durability, abrasive to resistance, frost and fire resistance are to be carried out. In case of concrete purpose, crushing strength, toughness, binding properties, hardness tests are to be carried out. So the engineering properties varies for the purposes. Uniaxial compressive strength. The compressive strength is the only parameter which is mostly used by the civil engineers. So under load conditions, when it reaches the maximum stress, that means maximum load, that the rock sample can sustain, that is referred as uniaxial compressive strength. It could sustain. And this is the equipment. See, the specimen, rock specimen is placed here and the load is applied. Another engineering property is tensile strength. This test consists of a loading cylinder diametrically in such a way that the applied loads would develop tensile rupture along the diametrical plane of the specimen. So diametrically, the rupture takes place. The loads are gradually increased till the cylinder is fractured. Then it is determined. The load P at rupture thus being known, So transverse strength TS is calculated by using the formula TS. That means transverse strength is equal to 2P by dl, where D and L are the diameter and the length of the specimen respectively, and P is the load. Shear strength. This is another engineering property. A bar-shaped specimen is held under grips and supported at ends below. A rupture occurs as a result of failure when the shearing strength is exceeded. This is about shear strength. So the shearing strength is calculated by using the formula P by 2 divided by A, where P is the load at failure point and A is the area of cross section of the specimen which is under load. Modulus of elasticity, which is another important engineering property, which is a measure of stress and strain relationship. So this modulus of elasticity is an important parameter in the evolution of deformation response of concrete under working loads. Of course, such deformation is recorded when loads are removed. The modulus of elasticity is carried out usually in case of tunneling works and the abutments of arch dams. It is expressed by the relation S by E, where S is the stress and E is the strain. Coming to engineering classification of weathered rock masses. And this engineering classification of weathered rock masses is classified as qualitative approach and quantitative approach. Qualitative approach is useful for the preparation of weathering maps for project sites in civil engineering practice. The degree of weathering of a rock mass is arrived on the basis of change in its strength, alteration on its surface, development of fractures, etc. So the rock mass is categorized based on these parameters. The rock mass is categorized into 6 grades. See, in the C table, unweathered and which is known as UW belongs to grade 1. That indicates fresh rock. That means there will be no alteration in the rock. This is on the basis of grading. Slightly weathered, which is also known as SW, and its grade is 2. That SW grade 2 indicates decoloration present along the cracks. That means if we observe, the color is slightly changed with the parent rock, especially along the cracks. Moderately weathered, which is also known as MW, under grade 3, in which the fractures are more. So we can see the increase of fracturing. Highly weathered is another engineering property. HW comes under grade 4, where the entire rock mass is discolored. It will lose its strength, and more than 50% of the rock mass is converted into soil. So that is called as highly weathered rock. Completely weathered, its code is CW and belongs to grade 5. So there will be no original strength at all in this rock, and the rock is totally converted, of course, into soil. Residual weathered, which is also known as RW, belongs to grade 6, total conversion of soil and no originality at all. When we see the quantitative approach, the quantitative approach reveals the weathering status and geodurability of the rock mass. So, based on ultrasonic velocities, Live in 1967 classified the weathered rock masses as C is equal to Vf minus Vw by Vf, whereas C stands for coefficient of weathering, Vf stands for velocity in fresh rock, Vw stands for velocity in weathered rock. This formula is brought by Liu in 1967 based on ultrasonic velocities. If the coefficient of weathering is 0, that indicates the grade of the rock is fresh. When the coefficient of weathering is 0 to 0.2, then it is slightly weathered, and it is moderately weathered when it is in the range of 0.2 to 0.4, and we can say strongly weathered if the coefficient of weathering is 0.4 to 0.6, and very strongly weathered if it touches 0.6 and above up to 1. This is another classification which is proposed by Oliver by incorporating uniaxial compressive strength megapascals on the x-axis and the swelling index on y-axis. Swelling index means the change in length on swelling to the original length of the sample. So it has been divided into very poor, poor, moderate poor, good, fair, excellent. So this method is essentially meant for assessing the weathered status of the rock mass in case of tunneling purpose. So in tunneling purpose, a civil engineer must carry and find out the uniaxial compressive strength as well as swelling index for the rock samples, and this is to be plotted in Oliver diagram. Rock quality designation index, which is also known as RQD. So this RQD was developed by D. Ray to provide a quantitative estimate of rock mass quality from drill core logs. That means the sample is to be collected through the core drilling. So RQD is defined as the percentage of core pieces which are longer than 10 centimeters in the total length of the core. So after collecting the core samples are laid down in such a way and measure each and every specimen which is to be more than 10 centimeter and should be incorporated in the formula in this way. For example, the total core length is 200 centimeters and RQD for this is summation of length of core pieces more than 10 centimeters as we said divided by total length of core. Now if you see the figure here, the length of the core sample is 38 centimeter and this length is 17, whereas this length is 0, that means no pieces obtained more than 10 centimeters. This is 20 centimeters and this piece length is 35 centimeters. If we substitute all these values in the formula, so 38 plus 17 plus 0 plus 20 plus 35 divided by 200, that is the total length of core run into 100, which gives 55%. So the RQD for this rock is 55%. In such a way, engineering rock mass classification can be obtained. Swelling. Some rocks swell when they are in touch with the water. Of course, swelling is also governed by the amount of clay minerals which are present in the rock, especially martimarillonite. So rock swelling is measured in confined conditions as well as in unconfined conditions. Unconfined swelling is measured by the percentage increase of length in 3 perpendicular directions when a rock specimen is placed in water. Whereas confined swelling index is measured in one direction while deformations in other 2 directions are constrained. Thank you.